Okay, here we are at the county building here in Riverside, right here. And we have some gentlemen here that are here on behalf of the county flood control, but they have expertise with drones. So we have this type and we have this type. They are willing to go ahead and explain to us how drones work and what they're to do. There you go, sir.
Yeah,
Introduce yourself.
We're with the Riverside County Flood Control. My name's Rudy, Survey Mapping Division, and we do aerial mapping with our drones. We have a MD4-1000 micro drone, which is the bigger drone. We have a Phantom 4 Pro, which is a smaller drone. And we fly our facilities of county flood control facilities, which are usually storm drain areas or basins, and generate an aerial mapping. But we fly under regulations with the FAA, which is a Part 107 UAV license, which I have. All our pilots have their license because it's a commercial application. We don't fly over houses. There's certain limitations you can do as a pilot. We have a 400-foot ceiling that we can fly at under regulations. We don't fly above that. And we stay to our work facility. We don't go wandering off the road into people's backyards and stuff. That's not what we're doing. We're doing mapping for our facilities and kind of stick with those regulations that we got to abide by. This is the Santa Ana River bottom, one of our areas that we're mapping for the Seven Oaks discharge. So we do different types of mapping. We do quantity type mapping for stockpiles of dirt and so forth. So we want to know how much material is there so we can fly that area and generate a map that tells us how much dirt's going to be there.
Do they have, are you guys flying over anything like where dump sites, like contamination? Because they're dumping all these dead birds in bags at the landfills and then they're being carried off by rodents and whatnot.
We don't even fly over landfills yet.
You don't?
I work for county flood control, not the waste management.
Well,
Okay.
maybe you should be in charge of everything.
I know. Dude, you're promoted. Okay, you are so promoted. We don't know who's flying over what and who's doing what.
There's hobbyists that fly.
Sure.
They don't really abide by any regulations for drones.
Okay.
And there's professionals that fly under regulations. Like we have a construction job that we're just finishing up right next to March Air Force Base.
Okay.
And we submitted for authorization to fly next to the base.
Okay.
And with the authorization, when we go fly, we contact the air tower and let them know we're going to be flying here at this altitude for this duration of time. Is it okay for us to fly?
Okay.
They want to know the registration number because the drones are registered when you're flying commercial application. They want to know when you're going to fly, how long you're going to fly, who's the pilot flying, and when are you going to be done.
So for a commercial entity like yourself, or I guess CDFA or USDA, if drones are being used, they're supposed to follow a commercial protocol.
Yes.
And call it in. Who would they have to call it into for permission to be doing that? Is that
the FAA?
the FAA? Okay.
Yeah,
so
you submit for authorization.
okay.
And it's a certificate that you get that says, yeah, you're authorized. But you just can't go fly. Even though I got permission to fly, I have to let the tower know that I'm going to be flying,
Yeah.
and they will give me the go-ahead to fly.
Okay.
If not, they'll say you can't fly.
So if we have just an independent or worker or whoever that bought a drone and just is flying it around, they're flying under zero guidelines. They're just
Correct.
they're
They're
just
just
What's
flying.
the law regarding flying over people's property? Are there some laws against that, or is it
There's
sort of
probably
a
regulations.
I don't
if
think
they're
he-
not. If they don't register their drones.
I don't think you're qualified to give
No.
a law analysis
not.
on that.
Okay.
I'm
I
not
think you can only
quoting laws.
say what you're allowed to do
I fly
for the
commercial
county.
application. I fly for the county.
Yeah.
And we're flying our facilities.
Yeah, and you're working under the FFA and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Whatever everybody else is doing,
Yeah.
you have no control over. So
Yeah.
whether they're
There's
using
hobbyists that fly, like our flight ceiling is 400 feet above ground.
Okay.
There's guys I hear talk, oh, I flew 1,200 feet today up. You're not
Is there
supposed
a
to be
radio
doing
communication that goes on with this? Like a FFA
No,
radio communication?
No, it's a hobbyist thing.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of guys can actually build drones. You can buy all the parts to build your own drone.
Well,
You don't
I
have
know
to-
some commercial fishermen that have them. They can go about 4 miles out, and the visual is, I mean, it's so crystal clear.
Yeah.
But it's used for fishing. So when your fish finder finds the fish, and you have customers that pay you to fish, they'll use the drones to go a step further out to look for the colonies of fish.
You know, it's like anything else. You have to have a connection with your radio to your drone. So if you lose those connections,
Exactly.
you can't fly. There's areas that we go into that are reception's really bad, and we really can't fly that area because it won't talk to my drone. So I'm not.
Pretty neat.
So it sounds like that we need to get with the FAA to figure out
Correct.
who is
you need
flying
to get to
what.
The feds, to the FAA.
We got USDA running rogue right now, so they're, I don't know. It seems like there's all these entities, because Department of Justice blew me off, and I tried to address my concerns of constitutional rights and certain rights, and they blow me off. There's zero oversight for any of these entities, and that's the problem. So now we got people petrified of drones. We don't know who they are. We don't, and then they're saying, well, that's how they're getting to know if people have chickens in their yard. So it's very strange. Yeah, I know. It sounds crazy. But join that SOB page on Facebook.
I don't do Facebook.
You don't? Okay. Do you?
I'm
Okay.
old-fashioned.
He's too young.
I write checks and pay cash.
I know.
Well,
Well,
I see a little gray hair there. He might be getting to our age.
okay, I'm turning this off, but I thank you because you provided us with some information
your
that none of
best
us.
thing to do is contact the FAA.
We will contact FAA. Everybody, find out who is flying what and where they're flying. Make them accountable to give up the logs. Okay, I'm going off of this thing.